Let me get closer so it looks like I'm interested.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Football Queensland edition of the Village Law SEQFC preview show. My name is Darren and we've got a bumper show for you tonight. We've got Liam, we've got Tony. Just say a quick hello, guys.
Hello. Evening, gents.
Yeah.
Hello,
Now,
football world.
guests, Coach of Eastern Suburbs, we've got Graham Rossi Ross. Good evening, Graham.
Evening, guys. How are we?
Good. Good to have you on board with us for the first time.
Good to be here.
And we've got the coach of Brisbane City, Matt Smith. Matt, welcome.
Good evening, guys. Thank you.
Massive weekend for you with a big win over Roadstar.
Yeah, tough game. Tough game it was for those that watched it either online or come to the stadium. It was an entertaining one. So, yeah, we were pleased to get the points, but it was a very good encounter to watch and play.
Good stuff. We'll come back to that shortly. Let's start with the NPL and some big results on the weekend. I think that Olympic got over a hurdle on the weekend with their 2-0 win over Gold Coast Knights. Tony, I'm going to get you to talk about that in a moment. But Gold Coast United thumping 6-1 win over Capalaba. Logan Lightning 3-0 over Magpies Crusaders. Sunny Coast Wanderers a 3-1 win over Easts. Peninsula Power 1-0 over Lions. Big win there for Power. And Moreton Bay 4-1 over Strikers. And Brisbane Royal Youth, they keep rolling on. 5-1 win over Redlands. Rossi, let's start with you. 3-1 win against the Wanderers. How'd you
go? Against the Wanderers, disappointing. It's one that we felt we could win, and we felt we probably did enough to win. We just didn't manage the game well enough, and got a little bit sloppy in our transitions, and got caught on the counter, twice at the death there when we were really pushing, to be back in the game. And it was a funny one. We went up there and the modern player, you would hope that the modern player goes up to a game like that thinking, not sure what the pitch is going to be like, and always carry 2 pairs of boots in your bag, but none of my players did. And there was actually 2 goals where players slipped at vital moments on the pitch, and I'm not going to blame that, but those sorts of things, it's disappointing. We didn't manage it well, and at the end of the day, we're just still conceding goals. I think we've only had 1 game this year where we haven't conceded, so still trying to clog it up at the back. And it's one of those, every week we seem like we have to score 4 to win. So that something there has to change. We're certainly working on that. But disappointing, if you look at it, when we sort of had our meeting around it, if we'd won that, we literally would have been 1 point behind Lions going into this weekend. So it would have been very different looking table. So now we've got to battle every week now. So it's tough.
You're hovering just above the drop zone with 3 teams going down. Of course, we still aren't 100% sure what's happening with the Magpies. You must feel that your squad's got enough to stay up and be comfortable.
I certainly do. Yeah, I'm still very confident in the squad, and testament to that is I spoke to the players and said I'm really not actively looking to bring more players into the squad, because I feel like I have a strong enough squad. It just has to click, they just have to start playing as a unit. So we do have a few individuals, and it's not a side that's really gelling that well. But I still feel there's a long way to go, and there's enough talent in the squad to do well. I think we're a very good attacking side, but obviously we have defensive frailties that we're working on. So and if we're a little bit short, if I'm honest, we're a little bit short there. So we have a few vital players early, so we're a little bit skinny at the back, unfortunately. So.
As Tony would say, you've had more clubs than Tiger Woods. What was the appeal of Easts?
It's 5 minutes up the road. Keeperoo. So I've
Good
had
reason.
one,
Good reason.
fun for a while. So yeah, listen, it's a one of those traditional clubs that's been around for a long time. I know a lot of the guys that are at the club. I know they're very passionate about senior football as well as their development and women's football. So a lot of the clubs, well, some of the clubs, they focus on the juniors, or they might focus on women's, or where I feel East have that holistic sort of vision around the club. They're very passionate about all areas of the club, and I feel like there's a lot of support there. So, and the tradition of the club, and a lot of ex-players still involved. There's a lot of old boys that come to the games. So there's a really good feel around the club, and it's always one that I've enjoyed to stay behind and have a beer after the game, which there's not too many of those. So
Yeah.
that I'm welcome, actually, probably.
Always enjoy Heath Park.
Yeah.
Tony, I mentioned before about Olympic with their 2-0 win over Knights. Was that a significant result? Did they get over a hump on the weekend?
I think so, because they struggled prior to that, apart from the training run they had against the Strikers. The results prior to that weren't that great.
What do you think, Rossi?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. We obviously beat them. I think other clubs were starting to work them out of how to beat them, and they seem to be stumbling, with a very strong squad. But we always knew that if they got that right, they're a very dangerous and very good squad and very well coached. So I think they just needed that belief to get that win under their belt, and so I think they'll be a real force in the coming weeks now. So
it's like as if they just needed, they needed that strikers result, just to really, for a few combinations maybe to come together the way that they did, and just by getting a bit of confidence out of that really helped them. And I think they'll be on the up a bit now. I think they'll get a bit of a run now, to be honest.
Well, they've got Kapalaba this weekend. You think they'll do that?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just taken a while for the players to click, because there's a number of big personalities in there, and so
FQE guys.
Peninsula Power had a 1-0 win over Lions on the weekend. Your old club, Rossi. Peninsula Power, 8 games, 8 wins, just 5 goals conceded. They are the team to beat, right?
They just keep rolling on. It's winning becomes a habit, and they're certainly in the habit of winning. Even if they don't play overly well, they still know how to win. So from all reports, it was a bit of a dour sort of a game. Tended to sort of, I hear, park the bus a little bit and try and catch lines on the counter. And I don't think Simon was all that pleased about it. But, you do what you have to do. And when you're up the top, you just want to keep ticking along and, pick up those 3 points however you can. And, they do their homework and they're very smart. And, again, another good coaching team and a quality squad of players, and those vital moments, they just pop up and are able to finish off games, and that's the difference, I think, in those top sort of echelons is, those little moments in a game where you've just got that little bit extra quality that can just finish off a game. So where, someone like us at the moment, we might just miss that chance or, miss that tackle in those vital moments. So they've just got good enough players in those moments to do better.
Roy Youth in second place on 22 points. Are they the real deal?
They're the best raw side I've seen since they've joined the competition. So I think I said that in another interview that they would be pushing for the premiership, depending on what side that they could keep together. And Matty would know a lot about that, with once the season's finished and who they rest and all the rest of it. But I think it's a very strong squad. I think it's a little bit older than it has been in the past. Guys like Jackson Hart Phillips, that played for me, who was a captain at Redlands. So in the past they were much younger boys. So they've got boys now with NPL experience behind them going into that squad. So I think they'll be up there. I certainly think they'll be in the top 4. It all depends on the quality of the squad. We got them first round of the season. The top team were playing at home, so all the big boys came down that needed some extra Ks in the legs the next day, and were very tough. So it's a luck of the draw when you play them, really. But yeah, I think they're the real deal. To answer your question, I think they're very good. Rossi's a very smart coach and doing a great job there. So I think on their day they can beat anyone in the league.
Looking at this weekend's fixtures, Olympic are playing against Capalaba, Moreton Bay up against Gold Coast Knights, Peninsula Power against Brisbane Strikers. What sort of score could that be? Redlands United up against Logan Lightning, Easts up against Lions, Gold Coast United against Brisbane Roy Youth, and Sunny Coast Wanderers against the Magpies. Up against your old club, Rossi, Lions, how are you going to approach this one?
We tend to, score more than them. That's where we're going to start.
It's a good formula.
Yeah. Oh, listen, they're a good squad. Another one that's, bristling with talent all over the park. So, it's one of those, if we turn up at the moment, it's all about our mentality in our squad. If we turn up and everyone's all switched on, ready to go, we can compete and do quite well. It only takes one or two to not be quite there, and we're off the pace on the day. We'll certainly have a game plan around the line side, and see how we go. We've done quite well against them just recently, so and we played them pre-season as well. So we'll have to be good, and we've fortunately picked up a couple of injuries that we'll have to have a look at tomorrow night. But hopefully we're close to full strength, and we'll certainly put a game plan in place and have a go at them for sure. My sides, we don't die wondering. We'll have a go.
Guys, this MBU Gold Coast Knights game, that looks pretty tasty to me. I think that's the game of the weekend.
And as Tony always says, it just depends which Moreton Bay United team turns up. Every week we say it, and every week they prove us right. You just don't know what you're going to get. So
I think even the Strikers led them on the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right, let's turn our attention now to the FQPL. And Matt, we're going to bring you in here. You had a 1-0 win over Rochdale. You were saying how tough it was. What made it so tough?
I think when I reflect back on the game, we had probably the game in 2 halves, really. First, we were rolled. I think that we controlled the game quite well. We stuck to our game plan and kind of nullified their threats, but I think we dealt with that really well. Second half, obviously, they're 1-0 down and chasing the game, and probably mentally we weren't doing the things that we were doing first half, and they made it difficult. They put lots of pressure on. But in saying that, I thought that from a defensive unit, from the front to the back, we dealt with it quite well. But obviously the momentum in games, the mental psyche in games shifts. Rossi knows more than anyone that, all teams have moments. So it's how our teams can cope with that mentally and physically. And we did do it quite well. I would have liked to have probably finished the game off a bit earlier. We did have some really good chances to kind of hit a second and then hopefully go on, but it didn't happen, and it kept them in the game. And like you said before, it was a top of the table clash. So you're not gonna have anyone that's gonna come up and just roll over and give you the points. You've got to work hard. So individually, I think that player for player and battle for battle, we got on top. The units then probably worked well behind that, and I think that on the balance of play, we deserved the win, but it was definitely hard fought.
I interviewed you late last year, Matt, and the side that you had at the end of last season, and probably the budget that you had last season, seems to be starkly different to the side that you've got this season. And I would suspect the budget that you've got as well. Am I talking out of turn there?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the budget, but I will talk about the players for sure. At the end of the day, we're in the position that we're in, and we've been able to recruit, in my opinion, some very, very good players. Some very good players that probably every coach has his approach and philosophy, and every coach has a style of play. And I like to think that we brought in players that enjoy playing the way that I want to coach a team. I think that that's probably first and foremost, a big attraction as to why players have come to City. Obviously, we have ambition and desire to go straight back up, but football doesn't work like that sometimes. And we've started this journey now, and the players are really buying into it. So I think first and foremost, they're enjoying what we're building. I think they're enjoying the environment, and I think that they're enjoying playing in front of good fans and good club and good people. So we're enjoying it so far, but again, we're only a third of the way through. We've still got lots of football to be played, and I'm sure that there's going to be some more adversity. I think there's going to be more challenges along the way.
Our attendance is up this season.
Of course.
Amazing what a winning side can do, huh?
We've got a great junior base. Obviously at the club, we have around 600 members, and the club do a really good job of bringing in lots of families, putting on games in and around the first team. So yeah, of course, when you win it helps. But again, we brought into the club, I guess, a culture and environment that all the teams generally, change the philosophy in terms of how we play. So the juniors come up and they're now talking tactically to their parents, like, "Oh, he should have squared the ball there, Dad," rather than shooting on goal. Basic principles like that, like we've kind of fed throughout the whole club. So it's good to see the kids during the week, and then they can talk back on the game and they can relate that to their own scenarios and games. So we're kind of trying to engage at different levels. Obviously, we have a good old boys part of the club too, and trying to incorporate them, ensure that they're around the players, and yeah, I think that for those that come and watch our games, it's generally a good atmosphere. The pizzas are always good, and the Italian beer is not too bad either.
You betcha. Looking at the other results, South United had a 3-2 win over the Fire. Mitchelton, an important 4-1 win over Wolves. Southwest Queensland Thunder, 2-0 over Southside Eagles. And Liam, you missed the derby. Western Pride got their win over Ipswich.
Can you see my jersey? Woo! No, I had to work. Can you believe it? I actually got called to work early for whatever reason I won't get into. But no, I had to start 4 hours early, so I missed it. But look, it's our first league defeat of Knights in Pride's 9-year history. There's been a few defeats in pre-season, etc. But FFA Cup league games, we haven't defeated them. So I'm very happy for the club. I'm happy for Brian Hastings, and I'm happy for the staff that they've got a bit of a, they got that off their backs now, and we can look forward to the rest of the season. I think that was that derby win. I think that plus finishing above your local rival, I think is the next thing that the club will be looking for. So look, there was 2 goal scorers. There was Isaac Davey and there was Ryan McLeod, and it was a good debut from our new keeper Gianni Zanaboni. He sorry if I mispronounced that, but he's Argentinian. He did big, solid lad, big, tall, and very, very, very happy with the win.
The result puts Western Pride in the top 4.
Yeah.
Matt, would you say that with 3 clubs going down, that it's anywhere between 5th and 11th as to who is in the mix to go down? Yeah,
I think that looking at some of the games that I've watched, there's a few clubs that are going to get dragged into it. So obviously, like it's 30, it's still a phase, but I think that the table is starting to unfold a little bit. So any one of those 5 are, I guess, at risk.
I think at the start of the season we were talking about Souths potentially being one of the ones to go down. From what I've seen, especially whenever it was a few weeks ago against Pride, I don't think they can. I think they'll be safe. Southside Eagles, I think, was another one that we had that we thought would be going down. But and Wolves, you thought actually that they'd be the top of the league.
Yeah.
Well, we played
Darren,
them.
so
We played them first game of the season, and that was a difficult game. You know, they got some. I think they've lost a couple in recent weeks, but that was a very tough game. And we played South at home again. You know, we ended up winning the game, obviously, but they didn't make it easy. So I think the Souths are definitely a team which are probably better.
Yeah, I think
at the moment.
They had a number of new players come in too, which is kind of, I think, has helped turn them around a bit, which is good. Yeah, and Mitchelton as well. I mean, it's good for Dan Penny. I mean, good for Dan to get on the start going up the ladder, because Tony and I were a bit concerned about them actually, because they just haven't performed this season up until probably the last few weeks.
Let's get to this weekend's fixtures. Western Pride up against Brisbane City Friday night.
Yep.
Go.
Bring a jumper. Gotta be
What's
cold,
it like,
man.
Frank?
I don't think I can wear a jumper playing though. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, it'll be a cracking game. And I over the last few seasons, Pride have had the ability to get it over some of the top higher ranked teams. So we beat Toowoomba last season. I think it was 6-1 or something at one stage. So look, it'll be a tough battle, but I wish you luck, Matty. Not too much luck.
Well, I think it'd be a good game. Obviously, Pride are a big club in Southeast Queensland, and we're very much looking forward to going and playing there. Obviously, I've watched and cut and edited your game from night, so you know I think one thing's for sure is that, again, like every single week, teams are going to ensure that they make it very, very difficult, and obviously want to try and create a big upset. So again, you know, we've got to work harder than you. We've got to make sure that we're winning all our battles. We've got to make sure that we're performing at our best to get anything out of there. So it's definitely going to be a good game, and should be one that for the viewers anyway, one to watch. Yeah.
It'll be a good game. But look, my head says City will get up, but heart's always with Pride, and but it'll be a tough match. I hope the boys show up. I hope they bring the same tenacity that they brought into the night's match, and they make something of it. I don't want it to be a blowout, but yeah, time for some of those older lads that are in there to try and step up, and you know, they were brought in the team for a reason, so they need to start standing up again tonight on Friday night, and we'll see how we go.
Going through this weekend's fixtures, Rochedale are hosting Holland Park, Southside Eagles up against Souths, Southwest Queensland Thunder against Wolves, and the Sunday afternoon specialists, Sunshine Coast Fire up against Ipswich Knights, with Mitchelton having the bye. Matt, Southwest Queensland Thunder, are you fearing them more than Rochedale? Are you fearing them all? What are your thoughts there?
I think that when I look at the four performing teams that I've seen at the moment, and it probably at the moment doesn't probably Pride's in that third, fourth, fifth spot as well. So between Thunder, Rochedale, probably the surprise team, surprise club that has come this season for us is Ipswich Knights. I think they've started the season really strongly. You know, it was a bit of a different result against us at home, but going into that game, you know, they've made games very, very difficult for some of the big teams. And we played Toowoomba away, and that's, you know, obviously a very difficult journey. We got away with the singular 1-0 win, same as Rochedale. I think once you look at those five teams, including Pride, I think that they're going to be you know, up there, and on their day anyone's capable of beating anyone. But I think you know, there's a little bit of a gap starting to appear now within the table. When you look at points is one thing, but then you look at goal scores against, it's starting little bits of pitches. And look, the window doesn't reopen again now, so the squad that you've got is kind of what you've got for the rest of the season within the rules and regs. So our team's going to be able to adapt and change if they need to, possibly. But again, when you look at those top five teams, I think that those are the ones that are going to probably finish in and around that.
well, and we'll have to see how Knights handle the Sunshine Coast pitch too, because I think a lot of teams struggle when they go up there because of the size of the pitch as well. Like if you play a wide game and you know it can be difficult. I know Pride over the years have had issues with it, especially Cam Cristani with his corners that ended up going from one side or the other. but yeah,
we played against Holland Park a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just going to have to say it as well. Like that they put on such a great occasion for such a great cause.
yes,
There's a real good community feel. The pitch was very tight there as well, and obviously on the hill, but the pitch is very, very narrow. Luckily, there's a bit of moisture on there, but we know that. To be fair, our pitch is probably not. It's not too bad at the moment, but all teams are going to have to adapt. We're going to have to go there and still adapt to playing in those sorts of services. So, can we cater for that? That's something that we're going to have to try and deal with.
Let's quickly have a look at FQPL 2 before we wrap up the show. So on the weekend, North Star had a 2-0 win over Sanford Rangers. Caboolture 7-1 over Coomera. Magic United and Taringa had a 0-0 draw. And Grange Thistle and Virginia United was last night. I suspect Grange Thistle won. I don't have confirmation of the score. Looking at the ladder, it's Caboolture way out in front. Taringa, North Star, Grange Thistle and Magic United fighting out the second to fifth place.
That's the biggest waste of 20 weeks of everyone's lives.
Looking at this weekend's games, Grange Thistle host North Star, Taringa up against Coomera, Sanford up against Caboolture, and Virginia host Magic United. So look, given the guests that we've got tonight, probably not going to focus too much on FQPL tonight, but I will get Terry Kirkham on in the next couple of weeks. I can promise you that.
Well, the big man will be on, eh?
Yeah, we'll have to get him on. He did a post during the week showing the ladder and doing a little bit of chest beating. So we'll have to get him on the show.
Well, he's winning a 2-team comp.
Pretty much.
And in a shitload to do it.
Who had that comment?
What was that?
And spending a shitload of money.
I heard you, Rossi.
Well,
I'm staying neutral.
Hang on. I think he's spending some of his own money, not just the club.
I have heard that actually. I have heard he's doing.
He is putting in some of his own money.
Yeah,
I've heard that, but I mean, unless you ask him yourself, you don't really know, do you?
And if you ask him yourself, you say
Matt's putting in a lot of his own money as well, I heard. So.
I was going to say, so some of the rumours I've heard is unbelievable.
Mate, the Italian mafia will sort that out. Don't worry about that, mate. They'll always come up with the money they take.
I'll send the brothers around. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. They'll have the brown paper bags still, won't they?
Stay diplomatic, Matt. Stay diplomatic.
What was that? Sorry, what?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know whether to end the show now or just let you guys banter for the next 5 minutes. I'm in two minds.
I'll see you Friday night, Matt.
Yeah, we'll do, definitely.
If you don't win,
well, like, Matt, I'm sure the trophy's at the engravers already, mate, so don't worry.
Yeah, a long way to go, mate. You know that.
Yeah, right. I know you play it down.
Hard to lead, Matty.
A few games.
Hard to lead, Matty.
Come on, Rossi. There it is, mate.
Right?
I'd rather chase than lead. Don't get nervous now.
That's it. Everyone's going to want to knock you off, mate. Everyone's going to knock you off.
Yeah, that's true.
You now become the hunted.
I think we'll end it there. I
Time
think
to stop.
I reckon there's going to be some cricket scores this weekend.
Peninsula Power versus Strikers. Look out.
Kapalapa Olympic, another one.
Yeah. And there's some goals good.
The bottom three in the NPL are gone anyway. In my opinion, those three are there for good.
Depends what Magpies do too, whether two go down and Magpies go, or Magpies go and three still go down. Who knows? Lots of play.
There's only one thing for certain: City will go straight back up.
You're trying to make me bite. You're trying to make me bite me, aren't you?
He wants another job. He wants another job.
Right.
Chasing another club to work at. That's what he's doing.
Who?
All right, I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much, Graham, Ross, and Matt Smith for your time this evening.
Rossi's already gone. He's out of here.
He's already out of it. He's like, I've had enough of this.
Rossi's had enough. He's like, well,
He hasn't paid the bill. He hasn't paid the bill yet.
Past his bedtime.
See you guys.
All right, so I'm going to be at the Wolves 100-year celebration next week, so there may not be an FQ show next week. If not, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Matt?
I think I'm going to go watch Brisbane City next week, next Wednesday.
Are you?
Oh, the FFA Cup.
I'm going to cheer Matt's team on, mate.
Yeah, we've got Thunder FFA Cup.
There you go, see? I'll see you there for a pizza, Matt.
You're welcome anytime.
I'll be there next Wednesday. Booked in.
Come say hello, just not on the pitch.
No, not on the pitch. No, I never got on the pitch, mate.
All right, that's the show, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.